So while visiting the Anchovy School, as I started developing a relationship with the principals and the teachers there, I discovered that there were a percentage of the children at that school who didn't have lunch money. Sometimes the other children would share their lunch with the children who didn't have lunch. But the isolation and the separateness that came with that, these children and their prideful feeling, I found that to be very sad and very disturbing. And that was our first step in the One Love Learning Foundation, was to find a way to feed these children. But we have 3 schools, and we have a school in Cape Town, South Africa. We have a school in Atlanta, Georgia, and a school in Montego Bay, Jamaica. Well, it's interesting because each of our schools have separate challenges. For example, in Atlanta, Georgia, where they have a very sophisticated school, computer labs, a big gymnasium, a full staff cafeteria, a music room with instruments and programs and monitors. But their poverty is one that's more directed to the soul. It's really a poverty of the soul, in that a lot of them are living with their grandparents because their parents aren't available. Unlike the Jamaica school, where the parents are attending the PTA meetings, the parents get together, paint the school, work on the projects, there's a little less of that society, that support system. So there's all kinds of poverty. There's the poverty that can't feed. There's the poverty that can't nurture. So each of our schools have a different issue. The school in South Africa, this is a country that's just coming out of apartheid. 13 years is not a long time to see a real shift. And even though they're now allowed to move, which they weren't allowed to do before, they're still living in the same townships. And they don't have the basic human needs. So every school has its own different set of circumstances, but that's the essence of the One Love Learning Foundation. We want these children to communicate with each other, and we've got a great project going on right now where we're going to be able to facilitate their communication. And we want them to understand and know that they're the same, yet different. And there's nothing wrong with being different.
One love. Yeah. You've got the power to change, to make the world a better place. It's not too late. Love is the answer, the cure for the fear and hate. One love together will make the world better. We can light the way. Look in your hearts. Can you see the children in a world filled with fear, so much doubt and pain? Look in the world. Can you see their faces? They're looking for hope, a chance to grow, a road to a better day.
Coming to school in the morning. School and the schoolwork and the academics is not the priority. Their focus, especially in the morning session, is on that feeding scheme. So for many of these children, the plate of food that they eat today, or at 9 o'clock in the morning, that is the first plate of food that they had since yesterday morning at 9 o'clock. I think one of the biggest positives coming from the project is the garden.
So far, the participation of the children in the garden has been absolutely outstanding. Every time that I've worked with them, they've been totally attentive, they've been passionate, they've been very receptive to new knowledge, they've got their hands dirty and been excited about it. I think that it's very important that children learn where their food comes from and have the benefit of eating freshly harvested, freshly prepared food. I have absolutely no doubt that the garden is going to be an integral part of the life of the school and an inspiration not only to this school but to other schools and the community around.
So the children anxiously await the call or the knock to get involved with the music lesson. I think that the children's faces, whilst busy with the activities, speak volumes. Just casting my mind back to the One Love song, where initially children and people start singing a song because it's got a beat to it or some words to it that they latch onto. But I think I can honestly say that the song has become a way of living, and the song has portrayed to our children hope, and that there's somebody out there who cares for them and to love them.
Look to your dreams. Have you tried to change things? Help a child, feed a child, teach them right from wrong. Hey, so many lives, so many stories about to unfold before they are told. Please help them get it right. You know all they need is a guiding hand. You are the answer to the question. Tell me, who will stand?
What we like to see, many Trinities all over the world. Why wouldn't we eventually take a school in China, with a school in San Francisco, with a school in Venezuela, and create yet another Trinity? And then that Trinity connects with the first Trinity. And the Trinities just evolve to a point where we have a huge global community of children, more nourished, more connected, more open-hearted, more open-minded, to be privileged to have relationships with other children all over the world.
It's not too late.